Ah, sorry about that stream. My computer decided to refigure itself. Stupid Windows. The world should be sponsored by Apple, and then we wouldn't have
No,
this
they're
problem.
worse.
Wouldn't have this problem. Hashtag pro streamer. Thank you. So supportive, Chuckleworker. So supportive. Yes. Oh, right. Is everybody in the right boxes?
Probably not.
For some unknown reason, the Bit Boss is not liking the restart.
It doesn't have a face on it. It doesn't have a face on it either. It didn't have it in your starting streaming either.
Normally, what I have to do is log into it.
Wonder whether if you do that, it'll put me #1 in bits as well. Seeing it hasn't done that still.
It's probably just need a refresh. Let's just do that.
I don't think you're getting any more
go.
bitties until that happens.
There you go. It's down now. Right. Okay then. So let's let me just. I'm missing something. I'm trying to find out what it is.
Let me get into character. Right.
Longshanks. Oh no.
It's like Chugga Wugga left the room and like Studley came in.
Yeah. Oh my God. Where's Chuckawucka gone?
No, I'm here.
Oh, sorry, I didn't realise.
Please don't do
that.
It's
it's
so
almost
scary.
like it's like Clark Kent, isn't it?
In reverse.
I'm not Superman. I'm Superman.
I know. That always made me laugh, that, because there's no sort of like real difference.
So thick, wasn't she, to not realise?
I know.
Everybody else,
She and everyone else.
It was just her.
Where's my thank you?
Good old Lois.
Oh, Lois Lane. Those were the days.
Okay, so let's move straight on. Let me see if I can get into my Shadowrun one. Brilliant. Okay then, so I think where we were is that you were just about to roll your dice to do a hack on the fly on the members, weren't you? The VIP list. Yeah.
No, he'd already done that. He'd got 6 successes.
No, I had already done that. I got 6 successes, and I was now looking for data bombs.
Right, hang on a minute. Let's. What did I roll?
Well, we did. I can't remember what you rolled.
That's
You crashed it.
Because we didn't see it.
Yeah, I'm just looking now because it's still there. Yeah, okay then. So you got 6. Okay then. So yeah, by all means, you use your matrix perception for to search the data files for.
Would I be able to
bombs.
ask my agent? Does my agent follow with me into the this matrix?
Of course it does. Yeah.
Would I be able to ask my pet Kraken, my agent, to help me with my matrix perception search?
Yeah. He got 1 success, so you can add 1 dice.
Okay. Matrix perception. I'll stick it there because I don't know. If it comes up with it.
I think you should roll your own agents.
No, it's automated.
Yeah.
It's a bit like if drones are on automatic pilot.
1. There you go.
And cool. Yeah, so that's Why is your data processing at 8?
Because I've got Oh yeah,
Lost
no.
code.
Why is my data processing at 8? It shouldn't be at 8.
Why is your data processing at 8?
Shouldn't be. It should be at 6.
Yeah.
What's your modifier 1
Well,
for?
I thought you had changed your deck away, so the thing was data process should be 6. Yeah.
Yeah. So C's is 7, then I've got +2 running because of my hack
You
on
must
the fly
you
exploit.
must have put something.
I put -2 and I've taken it off now.
Oh, cool.
I had it left on when from.
Yeah.
from
Well,
my-
you have a look at the data files, and there don't seem to be any data bombs there. You do notice, however, stood next to you is one of these Robinson Crusoe guys, and he's just sort of like stood next to you. He doesn't seem to be doing anything. He just seems to be stood there. Yeah, what would you like to do
Right.
next?
Okay. I'm going to try. Well, now that it's got no data bomb, keeping a half eye on this chap. I want to put our names on the VIP list.
Okay, so you want to edit file it.
Yeah.
So that will be your computer plus your logic.
Yep, I've got my button somewhere. There we go. There we go. 4 successes.
Yeah, four successes. Yeah, you managed to add all 3 of your street runners' names to it. You also probably upload an image because just in case it might be checked. So they've sort of like got your sin details actually on the list. Yeah.
Okay. So after that, I want to come out of the VIP. Oh no! I want to double check whilst I'm in the list that Bert the Basher is actually got his name on the list, and how often, if on that list it has how often they attend. Is that something that would be on that list?
Yeah. So first of all, do a matrix search to search through the data. But before that, you do that. Can you just roll, please, your intuition plus your firewall?
Intuition plus firewall. Intuition is 5. Firewall is things. So that's 9 dice.
One success, thank you.
Am I-
Okay, yeah. It's now do your matrix search.
Okay. Matrix search. You got 3 successes.
Yeah, you can easily find that Bert the Basher's name is on the members list.
Did it have next to it? I don't know if those sorts of things, if they mark people off when they come in or not. Would that be on that list or not?
Yeah, you can see that he entered last Friday,
Okay.
but he hasn't been there since.
Did it have sort of like a time that he would? Did it have a time next to it, or was that not something that would be there either?
Yeah, it does.
8
It's 8 o'clock.
o'clock. Okay.
Yeah, you suddenly realise that Robinson Crusoe all of a sudden reaches out his hand and he sticks a palm tree onto your persona.
Okay. I want to close that file, and then I want to do erase mark.
Okay. Are you running silently?
Yeah.
Have you clicked
Should be.
running silently? Because all your
It's got
dice,
it.
all your dice are coming up at 0 when it says silent.
Yeah. I've got it was most definitely clicked because they've gone down.
What's your normal matrix search? What do you normally roll?
I should be rolling 12 dice for matrix search.
Right,
It's
and,
intuition plus. Yeah.
and you're only rolling 10.
Yeah.
Where are you taking the 2 off? Because
Well,
it says your matrix search is 5
hmm.
and your intuition is 5. Are those skills right?
Yeah,
So that's 10.
yeah. I'm in hot sim, so that's +2.
Oh,
And -2 for running silence.
I never
You can't be in hot sim and running silent.
Yeah,
Oh, I thought.
and I didn't know you were in hot sim.
Sorry, I thought we'd said that.
No, I'll go back and check. I know Studley said something like, Chug said the benefits are great, but
Oh, okay.
the downside is that when you get dumped, you'll take dump
take
shock.
Sorry, yeah, I might have not been explicitly clear. I thought I probably said, "Oh, right, okay."
So you're not running
In response
silently,
to-
but you are running hot sim.
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
so you need to click the hot sim button.
Yeah, because it's not clicked, because that'll give you bonuses.
Okay. Okay, it's clicked now.
Okay, so 3 successes. What were you looking for?
So
Oh,
I
you wanted to erase the mark.
Yeah.
That's
I
what-
wanted to erase
Yeah,
that.
cool.
That was the next thing I wanted
So
to
that's
do.
computer plus logic.
Yeah, and it's limited by the attack rating, isn't it?
Which is 5.
It should just be able to click on that, and fingers crossed it all should work.
Five successes.
Yeah, cool.
Damn that limit! It would have been 6.
Yeah, and lucky for me, I get 6, which means you fail to erase your mark. You suddenly notice out on the water in front of you, where you've been picking out the data files from rock pools, you suddenly notice ahead of you is approaching what appears to be like a black pirate ship. It seems to have huge sails, and it's got the Jolly Roger hoisted up, and it's just slowly it's sort of like appeared on the horizon, and it's coming towards you. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Question is, do I stay and try and get more information, or do I go? No, I'm probably going to
Should I stay? Should
play it safe. He's gonna.
Oops.
Sorry, I got distracted then. Billy Bob was humming. It was
He
filtering.
wasn't. He was singing a song. Before that, he was shuffling his papers.
Thought I was
Is that
muted.
it?
Sorry.
So if I want to, can I remove trace that I've been there, and then leave? Is that something that's able to be done?
Well, your mark will eventually. You can erase your mark off the host if you wish. You can jack out. You can try to erase the mark that's on you. So it's completely up to you as this huge black pirate ship comes towards you.
I'll try and raise the mark again first. Because I want to try and get more data if possible.
Okay.
Is that something my agent can help me with or not?
Yeah.
Okay.
But remember, you'll be at -2 now.
Yeah.
Which other programs do you have running?
Running. So I've got agent, I've got exploit, I've got baby monitor, and signal scrub at the moment.
Right.
So you must have something that is that because that's 4 programs, isn't it?
Yeah, and you can have the number of programs running equal to your device rating, can't you? I thought that's what it said.
I just thought it was on the table. It's on the table. So yeah, so your Sony CIY can run 4 programs.
Yeah, sorry,
Yeah.
in my head I had it linked to the device rating.
Yeah.
But
So your agent can help you, and it's giving you 3 successes.
Okay, so that's just 1 extra dice then. Because it's -2 for repeating action, but he's giving me 3 extra dice. Four successes this time.
Yeah, let me just roll mine. Oops. Yeah, it still won't rub off. It seems to be firmly attached, and the pirate ship arrives at the beach.
Okay. In that case, I'm probably going to jack out.
I mean, you could check to see how bad it is first, because you've got baby monitor running, so you can actually see what Overwatch score you've got.
Overwatch you've got, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Would I be able to do that then, please, first before I
Yeah,
go?
you've got 26.
Right. Okay. I'm assuming that's bad.
No, it's not.
I think you can get up to
40.
40
Yeah.
before God comes.
Yeah.
Before God comes and kicks me off the Matrix.
Yes. So
No,
what do you wish to do now?
I think I'm still going to jack out for the moment.
Okay, so hardware plus your willpower.
Hardware plus willpower. Or sort of like leave. Is jack out and leaving the same thing?
Well, jacking out, or you can jacking out is when you go out and then you reboot your device, or you can just leave the host. I don't think is a. You can just exit the host if you wish, because you've got a mark on it. It's up to you.
So if I leave the host, would the pirate ship in this case follow me or not? I can't remember from what I read.
Well, roll a matrix theory test.
Okay. Ooh. Skills. Matrix theory.
Yeah, you figured that the Robinson Crusoe guys are probes, and so it was looking for something out of the ordinary. So your icon definitely looked out of the ordinary, because you can actually change your icon as you come in. So that's got a mark on you now. And so the pirate ship, you figure it is some kind of intrusion countermeasure.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, for the moment, so I'm gonna.
Well, before you do that, can you roll for me, please? Let me just find it. Yeah. Can you roll your willpower plus your firewall?
Willpower is 4. Is there a specific button for that, or do I have to do it manually?
Just roll it. There probably is one for it, but just roll it manually.
There you go, 1 success.
Yeah. So the all of a sudden you notice that there's a boom of a cannon from the pirate ship. And you notice that all of a sudden it sort of like blasts into your persona, and as it blasts into your beholder, it gives you a whack, and you take 2. Sorry, hang on. Yeah, 2 damage on your deck, and it sort of like blasts out onto your chest, and it turns into the paradise, like the treasure island. So you got like an island, and you've obviously got 2 marks on you now.
Okay. In that case, I'm gonna leave the host.
Right, now you have to jack out rather than just leaving. Beforehand you weren't actually in combat. Now
Okay.
you're in combat, so it's hardware plus willpower.
Jack out. 4 successes.
Yeah, I only get 2, so you managed to jack your self out of the host, and then your host, your deck automatically reboots as you come up. So it's erasing the marks that you had on you. Just out of interest, that seems to be, you figured that's quite a heavy security for something that looks like a local club.
Yeah. Okay. So have okay. So if that's taken less time than Studley and Billy Bob, if they're not back yet, then Bodie will probably finish his half-eaten sandwich that was in his thing, unless it looks like Billy Bob has either eaten it or taken a bite or has interfered.
Okay,
with
yeah. So you're okay, yeah.
it. So I'm just waiting for them to get back.
Yeah,
and
okay then. So yeah, Studley and Billy Bob, you come back from your suit purchasing.
Okay. Oh. Well.
Well, I've got good news and bad news, Chema. I got us added to the list. Also, good news. There was other interesting files and bits and pieces like that, which could have been interesting. But the bad news is I got made before I managed to have a look at those, and I had to leave. But I can always try again later on.
Excellent.
But so we're on the list. I also found out that Bert does tend to. The last time he went was last Friday, and he got there about 8 p.m. in the evening.
Right. Oh, okay.
Which I thought might be useful to
Yes,
know.
we got you we got you suitable attire to wear.
Let's have a look. Let's have a look.
I don't think flip flops are
I mean, I can wear them most places, but yeah, by the sounds of this place, it's a bit flashy.
To be honest with you, I mean, flip-flops, as far as health and safety go, are not suitable footwear to be wearing at all.
But they do keep your feet nice and aired, so you don't get sweaty feet and you don't get all those extra added foot infections there.
Excellent. So, what are we on as?
So at the moment we're on. I put you under because I didn't know if you had any extra personas or that sort of thing, or if you had any extra IDs. So I put them down as how you introduced me. So you're down as Stanley Lovely or Studley.
Stanley Lovely.
Yeah. Billy Bob's down as Billy Bob, and I'm down as Bodie.
Excellent. Right.
So they should be expecting us.
Right. Did you? Was there anything else that you found out about the club, or not? Did you say?
No, I didn't manage to. There were some other places, some other interesting files. So obviously they had cameras. They had a file called debts. I also managed to see, which was quite interesting actually. It was a beach matrix host. So it was like, and they were throwing the bottles of, like putting messages in bottles and bottles there, which is quite cool. So there was
those were probably data files.
Yes, yeah, I got that. I was just, just thought it was interesting, and I don't know how much Billy Bob knows about matrix stuff. So then there was also one called Apartments.
Include.
There was also one called Accounts. There was obviously the VIP one, which I've managed to put us on. And then there was one called Cashiers. Is that right?
Cash collectors.
Cash Collectors. Yeah, and then there was one called Cash Collectors as well. So that's interesting if it's just a nightclub and they've got debts and cash collectors. But as I said, I didn't manage to get into them because Matrix Security saw me first, because it was a very beefy Matrix Security on that place, more so than you would expect for sort of like a nightclub in Southside.
Ah, right. Okay. So,
are we safe if you've been made?
Would that be something that Bodie would know through Matrix theory? Or...
You could roll it, yeah.
Okay.
You don't think so?
As in, I don't think it would matter, or
Correct, yeah.
It shouldn't. To be honest, Billy Bob, it shouldn't matter, because when I jacked out, it erased all my marks and that sort of thing on the host, so
okay,
shouldn't matter.
Okay, well, we don't have much to go on. We are on the guest list, so I think the best thing that we can probably do is to turn up and mingle.
I
And
mean, I can try again later in this evening or another time to get in the host again if we want to get into some of those files because they did look like they could be, quite interesting.
yeah, yeah. I think well we all, well, apart from Billy Bob, of course, appreciate that. If it was on alert, it will remain on alert for a fair amount of
Yeah,
a fair amount of time.
yeah. I can still always try again later when see if it's giving it a suitable amount of time to sort of like chill.
Anybody got anything else to add
No.
before I go into my next bit?
Nope.
No, well, I mean, other than working out the plan, what we're going to do when we're inside. No.
Well, that's what I meant. Have you got anything? Have you got anything to
Ideas.
anything to
Any idea?
suggest or anything?
Well, I mean, when we rock up, I mean,
Easy Praise says to you, Big Beastie. He said, "Keep twirling that mustache, Big Beastie. Makes you look cool." Can you see it in the chat?
Thank you. I can. I've got Zoom covered over.
Oh right, yeah.
you
So
should
we
wax
can't
it
see
like
your
that.
dice rolls.
Big. You should wax it like that. So you walk around like that all the time.
I'm trying to get some wax.
I would get some wax if I was you. I'd
Thank you,
recommend not that I can wax, but I'd recommend Mobros.
Oh, bro.
No plugging involved.
You could do what they used to do in the olden days and use milk.
Mm.
Does that work?
Or you could use shoe polish.
Yeah, no.
Or it might hurt a little bit, but sellotape works quite well as well.
So, do you have a plan of
Yeah,
action?
we were just waiting for, because Longshanks was just saying something before.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
Longshanks was saying something, but Longshanks was going to say something in character as opposed to out of character. We all kind of dropped out. Well, I mean, when we get there, we could always, we could always split up and ask around. We know what the chap looks like. We know what Bert looks like, so we can see if he's there and ask. Bert is. Look for Bert, see what he's doing, see if he's there. If we can't find him, then see if anybody's seen him recently. He was there last Friday, so
Yeah, so I mean, it's always nice to have somebody to help with the face duties. I'm glad you're up for the task. So right. So we don't actually know what we're going in as, just as guests. So we'll have to play it by ear when we do enter.
Yeah, you just your Bodhi used your street sins to add you to the list. So,
yeah, my street sin is my normal sin.
Oh right, so he used that to add it to the list.
I don't have a
Oh bless you.
no, can't afford it.
Makes it easier to trace you afterwards.
Yeah, can't afford it, not with the cost of these suits.
Yeah, but you do look very stylish. Very stylish.
now 500 yen suits, credit suits.
I've no idea how I'm going to be able to react in this place. Do we know from the information that we got on the Matrix what time Paradise opens? Is it sort of like opens at 8-9 o'clock?
It opens at 9. Sorry, Paradise opens.
Yeah.
Yeah, it opens at 8 o'clock.
Right.
Which is when Bert got there last time. He got there at dead on opening hours.
Right.
The believer that he is.
So Studley can't get there exactly on that time because he'll have to make sure that his mother's in bed before he nips out. So maybe about 9:30, 10 o'clock.
Yeah, that's absolutely fine.
Would be the time that he would be able to that he would be able to get out.
Okay.
Are we going in? Are we going in separately? Is someone going to go in at 8 and someone going at 9, someone going at 10?
Yeah, we could try
Or
that.
are we going to go in together, or are we going to go in as a single and as a pair?
What does Billy Bob think?
Well, just so you know, we don't rely on Billy Bob for thinking.
Oh right, okay.
He's
We could.
he brings other things to the table.
Ah, I see. Fair enough, Chummer.
That's Dudley.
In that case, we could always try a pair and a pair and a single. If Billy Bob can get there for 8, would Billy Bob be able to get there for 8?
Billy Bob can get there.
So if Billy Bob and I get in there for 8 and sort of like lose ourselves in whatever crowd there is, and then you can rock up when you can get here.
Okay, so you
Maybe.
all set off at different times to arrive at the Paradise Club. In your rather posh suits, you all look quite stylish. Just remember, it's probably not a good idea to carry weapons. I know, Billy Bob, you've just probably have your hand spur ready. You're quite tough to hit. Studley and Bodie, I don't know what you're actually taking, but if you are taking anything, then just mark it down somewhere. So when it comes to checking concealabilities, I know which target number I'm at. So when you arrive at the Paradise Club, it's almost like a massive neon building. It has loads of like purples and pinks and flashing lights. And in Arrow, as you look at it in augmented realities, it almost like says paradise when all your dreams come true on the adverts. And yeah, lo and behold, there's two rather smartly dressed. There's a human and an orc at the front, and they're very smartly dressed. But even as you walk up, as you all enter at different times, you can see that they're definitely packing, and they may no bones about it. You know, you can see the sort of like the handle, or probably things like a Browning high power pistol. Your heavy pistol inside a shoulder holster. They seem to have some kind of scanning data pad, or a data pad with a scanner attached to it. And as clientele are moving in, they're scanning the scenes and then not letting them in until their name obviously pops up on the data pad, and then they take down that red rope and allow people in, and other people are that the exit appears to be like at a different place, probably further down, because there seems to be entrance only into this place. And you go in, and they sort of like scan your sins, and yeah, you all seem to be on the guest list. So without much ado, they sort of like check you against the picture, and then they sort of like let you in, and you all arrive at different times into the Paradise Club, which, as you can see, is very neon in style. It's very posh. Everybody seems to be well dressed. There is some kind of almost like techno music in the background, and there seems to be waiters and waitresses bringing round drinks. There seems to be, in the little cubicles that you can see, they seem to be people like one guy with several women round him, and they're sort of like laughing and joking. And as you walk in, standing right in front of the door, you see Bert the Basher. No, sorry, you don't.
Oh,
Gutted.
Yeah, and
Yes,
so
please.
yeah, so that's how it is. What would you like to do?
So as I mean, Studley goes in, and he would have sort of like watched people in the queue ahead of him, and just that he can react the same. And as he goes past the two thing, as they check his name, he also goes, "Good evening, gentlemen," as he goes in, and then he wants to take in the surroundings. Take it there's a bar area.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah. So once he's done that, he's going to move over to the bar and order himself a drink.
Yeah, there's a range of cocktails on offer here. You manage to sort of like take several attempts to get yourself up onto the bar stool, and there's an arrow menu there, and you can select a suitable cocktail to.
Yeah, you look for a non-alcoholic one.
Yeah, there's everything seems to have alcohol in it.
Okay, he'll look for the cheapest.
Yeah, so you can have it's what's known as a matrix bomb, and it's only 20 credits.
Oh.
So that's cool.
Yeah, well, he'll have one of those, but he won't actually
Drink it.
He won't actually drink it. He's just holding it for the time
Yeah,
being,
cool.
so that he blends in a bit.
Yeah.
A bit.
So everybody else arrives, and you sort of like congregate together at the bar. And I presume the other two, Billy Bob and Bodie, you're drinking as well.
He'll buy a drink to have a drink in his hands, but he won't necessarily be.
Yes,
And he'll make a pretense of drinking, but he won't.
Yeah, just so knock off 20 credits from your money, from your accounts as you buy these very expensive drinks. Yeah, and what would you like to do?
Studley's going to he's going to start to mingle. So he's going to do sort of like a lap round the.
So the only people that seem to be moving around with specific purposes. So as you look round before you set off, it seems that everybody is moving around with a specific purpose. So, for example, waitresses and waiters are carrying drinks, carrying empties back. Men and women are either walking to their booze or to the restrooms or something like that. So you sort of like walk around. Can you just make a perception roll for me, please? Yeah, you don't see Bert the Basher anywhere. The closest you get, there seems to be a troll, very smartly dressed, dark glasses on, even though he's within the nightclub. You can see that he's packing just like the guards outside. And he seems to be stood next to what appears to be a door. And as you pass it, this is what your perception was for, you notice that as you just sort of like casually walk past and give him a nod and a smile as he goes down, he sort of like watches you as you pass. And you notice this up on the door, it says private.
Okay. So going back to the bar and just sort of like Studley's going to go back to the bar and he's going to sit there, but he wants to sit so that he can actually keep an eye on that door and see whether or not anybody else goes in or out of it.
Cool.
Okay. So once Bodie's there, he's going to be sort of like mingling, but he wants to be He wants to be looking through. Got to get it right now. Is it VR? Yeah, VR. And he wants
VR,
to...
you will be slumped on the ground unconscious.
Oh, AR. Then sorry. Yeah, I always get those two mixed up. AR. And he wants to be looking for matrix devices. Devices. What devices?
Yes. So as soon as you sort of like switch to AR, there's seems to be devices are plenty in it. Most people have their comm links. A lot of people are just running them. They're not even running silently. You notice that the the waitresses have cash collecting devices that obviously can charge people's by scanning their SIN. You notice that there's a huge amount of devices in the music area that are all non-wireless but non-protected, and of course there's loads of things down around the bar as well.
Okay. The next thing he wants to do, he wants to scan the room again, but he wants to look for hidden devices.
Yeah, roll your matrix perception.
Matrix perception. I'm running silent. No situation modifiers. There we go. 4 successes.
Yeah, you can notice that the closest ones are comm links that are running silently.
Okay. Can you be doing that? If I roll that as an extended test, would he be able to do it as he's like walking around the room, so like pretending to mingle and that sort of
Well,
thing?
you can see the whole of the room in the matrix. Yeah.
Okay. Are there other rooms? So is there like an upstairs, or is it just everything in one room?
Well, you can only see this room at the moment. You're in this room, so there seems to be no stairs going up, or if they are, there doesn't seem to be an entrance on this level.
Okay.
Studley wants to next time a barmaid or a waitress passes him, he wants to catch her attention and call her over.
Yeah, you still stood at the bar.
Yeah, he still stood at the bar.
Yeah, so somebody comes to you, sort of goes, excuse me, can you come here? And she sort of like goes over to you and says, you can order directly from the bar, sir.
Oh, right. Yes. I was supposed to be meeting a friend here, but he doesn't seem to have turned up yet.
What's the name of your friend?
He goes by the name of Bert.
One moment, I'll go and ask the security guards on the door. They'll know whether or not
right.
he has arrived. And she sort of like scoots off to the sort of like to the entranceway, and she talks and converses with one of the human, and the orc sort of like comes back with her, and she sort of like says, it was this young man or gentleman here who was asking about Bert.
And Studley goes, no, that's not the orc I was looking for.
And he sort of like, the orc sort of like looks at you through his sort of like his shades and says, and can I help you, gentlemen?
Oh, I was just mentioning to the young lady that I was supposed to be meeting a friend here. And I was asking whether or not he had turned up yet.
Yes, that's what she informed me about. The name
I'm
of your
sorry.
friend.
I when you asked whether or not you could help me, you didn't know. Yes, his name is Bert.
I need a full name, sir, to check the guest list.
Oh, I just called him Bert. He's a friend. We're on first name terms.
So he seems to scan down the data pad, and he says, unfortunately, your friend hasn't arrived. We have no mention. Nobody called Bert has actually checked in to the club tonight.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you very much for your help.
Yeah, and just roll a perception test for me. I just want to see whether or not you see something as he walks out. Yes, just. You do notice that as he walks out, he seems to give a slight nod to the barman, the person behind the bar actually serving the drinks. He sort of goes like that, or he seems to be almost like nodding at you. And yeah, and the orc goes back outside. Back onto duty.
Billy Bob's gonna come up and sit next to Studley at the bar.
Yes, you all sort of like huddled together at the bar.
I do notice, Mr. Bob, that everybody who I speak to tends to have an attitude. I don't know why.
Do I have attitude?
Yes, sometimes, to be quite honest with you.
Oh.
Or I'm asking the wrong questions.
Possibly. Or annoying questions.
Yes, yes.
But sometimes the annoying questions are the ones that give you the most answers.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
So Billy Bob's going to turn around and he's going to ask, so what's the plan now?
Well, I mean, we don't have much to go on apart from that Bert was here. I would have ideally liked to have seen the cameras.
I thought the orc the orc person was very nice to you.
Yeah. Ideally, I would have liked to see the camera footage from Friday night.
And you got the information you desired as well. That Bert wasn't here.
Or he was here and he hadn't left.
Maybe.
Ideally, I would like to maybe have a browse through the door behind the rather large gentleman.
You need me to make a scene?
I don't know whether or not that would help. What did you have in mind?
Maybe drop some drinks. Maybe make someone fall over.
I think if we dropped drinks, then we would probably get a waitress
You get the cleaning lady.
rather than the. And I don't think you could pick a fight with him directly because that might also be maybe you could pick a fight with somebody pretty close.
One of the guests got it.
Yeah, so a random individual who doesn't bruise easy. I would have thought that would probably be the best suggestion. Bodie, is the door locked? Can you see whether or not there's any devices on it which may cause me problems? I like a maglock.
Whilst as soon as Studley says that, Bodie wants to have a glance around at the door to see if there's any, if the door has a matrix, a lock on the register of the matrix.
There's no evidence of it on the matrix now.
Okay, so sort of like, but you see, Studley sees Bodie glance over and sort of like, and he turns back and says, "Nope, nothing on the door that I can see."
So Billy Bob's gonna get up with his drink and like slowly walk round to where the door is, and the next person that comes by, he's gonna knock into him, and
That'll be a waitress, or do you want to dump it onto somebody in a cubicle?
No, I'm not. He's not gonna chuck his drink, but he wanted to if one of the guests was like mingling around, like
so they're all sort of like in these cubicles on the map. Can you see them? So the majority of people are sat there and they're sort of like lounging back, and they've got women on their, on both arms, or men on both arms, or there's women with women. It's quite a Neapolitan club,
So he's gonna go up to one of the cubicles, and he's gonna go. I want her.
Yeah, and then the girl that you've pointed at sort of like goes, "Yeah, I'm available for the right amount of money."
That didn't work. um. No, I want. How many girls are there?
There's about 3 on either side of this guy.
So he's gonna turn and go, I want all of you.
Okay, roll your intimidation. You can have +3 because you're standing up, and we'll put your limit onto physical rather than social. So just roll it, and I'll know what your physical is.
+3.
Yeah, so this guy sort of like gets up because you actually have 3 successes there because it would go over your limit there. So so this sort of like guy gets up, and he seems to be some kind of a human, about 6 foot. He's quite well built, and he sort of like turns around to you and says, he just like looks you in your eye and says, "Go and get your own women."
Billy Bob wants to grab hold of him.
Okay, so roll me an unarmed combat.
This is when you find that this other guy's got wide reflexes level 5.
Unarmed.
Lightning fast actions.
I'm literally causing a scene here for you.
Yeah. Yeah, so you sort of like grab him and pull him towards you, and or one of the girls sort of like screams, and somebody else sort of like looks round, and the guy sort of says, "Oh, what you doing? What you doing?"
And Billy Bob's gonna just turn and say, "Who do you think you're talking to?" And
yeah, and he replies in a suitable way, "You can have the women if you want the women."
No, Billy Bob's just going to keep hold of him, and hopefully the guard by the door is going to come over and try and break it up. Or so he's going to keep hold of him. And he goes, "No, I think I'll take you instead."
Yeah, so at that point, you notice that one of the orc that was outside on duty comes in, and the troll at the door the troll that you want to move away from the door sort of like comes towards you as well, and they both sort of like walk into almost like converge on you in military fashion.
Studley is going to start making his way, sort of like keeping in with people who else are walking as well, but start to walk and head round towards the door.
Okay, what are you doing when you get to the door?
He's going to pause and wait to see what happens with the altercation between Billy Bob and the other 2 people. If he sees a suitable opportunity, he's going to open the door, going through, but casting a spell as he goes through.
Opportunity being...
They're not looking directly at him.
Yeah, well, the troll's not looking.
Him, and they're both leading him off to the door. Or...
Yeah, well, as previously mentioned, they both have converged onto Billy Bob, so the troll has got his back to the door. And they sort of like they sort of like instruct you, Billy Bob, to take your hands off the guys, and they sort of like say, don't make me use force, you know, and they're sort of like almost like saying, you know, you've outstayed your welcome. Yeah, roll your spell casting and magic.
Okay, so as he grabs a handle and goes through the door, he wants to cast physical mask to make himself look like the
spell casting plus magic then
outside the
it should work now straight off.
I am casting this at force. I'm going to cast it at force 3, but as I go through, he reaches into his pocket and he just crumples some cinnabar as he goes through.
So as this is happening, Billy Bob's going to turn around and say, "Not until I get an apology."
Yeah, well, have you rolled your spell?
Yeah, I have to.
4 successes. Yeah, cool. Yeah, so the you open the door, and I've typed into Discord what you can actually see beyond that door. Studley, you should be able to see it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. So the troll and the orc are sort of recommending now that you release the man, and they would like to escort you out of the bar, Billy Bob. So, do you wish to release the man or not?
If I've seen that Studley's like gone through the door, then yeah, he's gonna let go.
Okay, so you release the man, and the troll and the orc escort you back outside, and the orc waits till you're outside, and then he turns around his data pad, and you can see your name there, and the orc says, "See your name there, mister," and he goes, "Tap tap," and it just now comes over the top, "Banned" on it, and he says, "That's a lifetime."
Oh,
cool. Let's jump to Studley in the room.
Is there any other doors leading off from this room?
Hang on, I will show you it. Can you see it?
Mm-hmm. Hang on, let me zoom out a bit because I can't see it well. So that's a big no.
Yeah. Okay. And there seems to be a game of almost like high stake poker going on the table. There seems to be a lot of chips or cards on the table. The guy that looks like a law enforcer, he actually seems to be winning. Well, he's got the most amount of chips in front of him. There is something else that's not on the map, but I'll tell you about it. Just here, can you see where I'm pinging?
Mm-hmm.
There's
Is it an orc?
No, there's a desk set further into the room, and there's some kind of computer on it, and they seem to be busy typing things in. There seems to be almost like an elderly man, probably your own age, and he seems to be typing things in to the computer.
Okay. So I'm going to sort of like stand just inside the door like I was still on guard. I'm going to stand like the troll was standing outside, when he was outside.
Yeah, okay.
I'm not going to say anything. I'm just going to stand there quietly as if I'm still on guard, but
yeah, so you're closing the door behind you, I'm assuming. Yeah. And they sort of like look at you for a while, and then they continue to play their game of poker, and they're very intense, and sort of like you can hear that the guy over in the corner sort of like tap 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 as he sort of like uses his keyboard to enter data, it appears.
Right. Do I recognise any of the people?
Make a memory check.
Two successes. Don't get the dice rolling sound anymore.
I do. Sorry.
I do.
They seem to be very well dressed. There's nobody that you actually recognise. You don't think you've seen any of these before at all.
Right. And I'm too far away to see what this person's typing away at the...
Yeah, well, this person who was typing away has been typing away, and he's almost like he looked like he was filing some papers and typing it as they went through, and you notice that he seems to finish off the last one, and he opens what appears to be a deep drawer desk drawer, and he opens it up and he files it away and closes it, and he seems to tap something which you probably think is a keypad lock on it, and he sort of like gets up and he puts his jacket on, and he sort of like walks round, and as he passes you, he sort of like says, "Right, I'll see you later then, William."
William's just going to he's going to stop him and just I haven't heard William speak, have I?
No.
Okay, so I'm going to say in a sort of like well, I'm just going to do a voice.
Yeah.
This is going to say, "There's an altercation outside. You best stay in here until it's cleared."
He sort of like says, "Has it finished?"
Not yet.
You probably remember that they've all got comm links, so anything that would have been communicated that it was sorted would have been said, yeah. And he sort of says, "Well, how long will I have to wait then?"
Hopefully, we won't keep you any longer than we have to.
Okay, he sort of like looks at his comm link and checks the time on it, and this sort of like stands there. A game of poker continues.
You're gonna have to do something, guys. I can't.
I think I don't know. I don't know what's going on in the room. That's the thing.
Billy Bob's outside now, so
Yeah, Billy Bob's outside. If your name's not down, you ain't coming in.
So I'm just trying to think. It's too early to have the host again. So Bodhi's gonna is gonna ask one of the another one of the. Oh no, we've done that, haven't we?
Can Billy Bob go around the outside of the building and look for another door?
Yes, by all means. It's not bordered by any alleyways, but you can go around the block and see if there's another exit anyway. You do notice that there's a fire exit that runs up the side of the building, in case of fire. So there's obviously some kind of apartments or something over the top of the club, but what it is, you don't actually know.
Okay. So Billy Bob's gonna try and force the fire door somehow.
On the fire escape.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which one do you want to do? Do you want to do the one down at the bottom, or do you want to do one higher up on a higher up floor?
Probably at the bottom. He's hoping that opening the door will set the alarm off.
Oh, I see. The alarms say that somebody's broken in.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay then. So just roll your body plus strength.
Body plus.
I think it'd be like a lift and carry one, isn't it?
Right. Okay. So if I do a lift and carry, then
Hang on. Let me just check. I think.
body plus strength. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
just roll your lift and carry. Yeah, you sort of like pound into this fire door, and the door sort of like bursts inwards. You can see there appears to be some kind of small corridor, and then a set of stairs going up. And so as you go in, straight ahead of you, there's a door, and there's a little corridor, and to your left, there's a set of stairs going up, and to your right there's a set of stairs going down.
Billy Bob's gonna say over the comms, just kicked in fire exit door.
Yeah, so as that happens, Bodhi, you're sort of like stood at the bar, and you notice that the troll sort of like gets back to the door, and he sort of like reaches out his hand, just about to open the door, when all of a sudden he sort of like starts looking around, and if the hand doesn't go to the door, it sort of like it seems to go straight to almost like his pistol butt. Concealed in his jacket, and you notice that there's one of the orc out front and this troll now seem to be heading almost like behind the bar. Billy Bob, what would you like to do? Can you just roll a perception roll for me, please?
Yeah, sure. Come on.
No, yeah, okay. As soon as Bodhi sees the troll and the orcs like heading towards the bar, he's going to say over the comms, "You've got the troll bouncer and the orc bouncer, obviously heading into the interior of the club, probably coming towards you if you've just opened a security door."
Billy Bob's just going to turn around and say, okay, done my job. I'm out of here. Bye.
Yeah, the perception roll, by the way, was to that you hear that there's somebody moving up on a higher floor, and they seem to be coming probably down some stairs. You know, Studley, yeah.
So hearing what's just come over Con, but not having it directed at him, Studley's going to almost sort of mimic how people touch their comm unit when they're hearing something. Then he's going to turn around to this this gentleman, and he's going to say, "Oh, it seems to be all clear now."
Oh yeah, and he's sort of
he's going to open the door.
Yeah.
For him to come out, but then he's going to go out with him and close the door
on the outside.
Leave the four people playing poker.
Yeah, so you sort of go back outside, and you notice that he sort of says, "Oh, thank you very much for that, William. Much appreciated. It's nice that the staff keeps all of us safe, no matter what our jobs are." And he sort of he has a briefcase with him that he sort of picks up, and he almost has a trench coat, but more like a Mac that he's got on, and he sort of starts to potter across the club, heading for the exit.
Okay.
Go on, Studley. That's right.
No, you go first. I talk all the time.
I was just going to say, so although I don't know that Studley is in troll form, because I didn't see the spell go off, I don't know if he can do that. But I see this chap coming up with a briefcase. Would I be able to make a matrix perception on him to see if he's got any? First of all, what he's got on him.
Yes, by all means.
And then after that, depending on that, I'll see what I do next. Matrix perception and silence. 3 successes.
Yeah, he has no, apart from a comm link, that is not running silent. That's the only part of electronic devices he has.
And then immediately after that, can I look to see if he's got anything running silent on him as well?
Yeah, by all means.
Do I have a minus to the roll or not?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, no, he has nothing running silently at all. He just seems to have his comm link, and he sort of potters across the dance floor, almost like walking in between people. And every now and again goes, "Oh, sorry," as they come past. And
he's heading towards the main entrance exit that we came in.
Yes, yeah, and he sort of carries on going, and then he literally sort of walks out. Some of the waitresses and the waiters sort of say goodnight to him, and he sort of toddles out of the main door.
Well, Studley wants to try his best to follow him, but he wants to find an opportunity to drop his physical mask spell. So
Yeah, you could probably do it as you pass by a pillar or something
yeah,
like that.
that's what he was going
Yeah.
to. That's what he was going to do. But
So seeing Studley, if can I see Studley from when he comes out from the other side of the pillar?
Yeah.
From the bar, be able to see Studley,
Mm.
and see if I recognise that he's heading towards the door. I'm gonna sort of like think he's onto something and say over comms to Studley, are you following anyone, or do you want me to help him follow? As sort of like I start moving away from the bar.
he gets no response.
Nod, say, scratch your head if or something like that if you want me to follow you.
Well, Studley will scratch his head.
Okay. In which case, I will do my best to try and catch up with him.
Yeah,
and
so
then,
the guy goes out of the club, and Studley, you drop your mask and you're walking sort of like a distance behind him. As you sort of like get to the entrance of the club, you notice that Bodhi has now caught up with you and is sort of like walking with you, and you sort of like pass out the gates, and the troll, the orc and the human bouncers out there, sort of like says, "Oh, please come back again, and sir, it's been lovely having you here tonight."
Studley say, "Oh, thank you very much. Very pleasant establishment you have. Yes."
yes, thank you. I'm sure I'll.
And then he's going to
appear
quickly
here again.
follow this guy wherever he's.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay then. So
Bodhi will join him.
yeah, so you're both sort of like walking down
Seeing
the.
Bodhi next to him, he's going to say, maybe get a vehicle.
Yeah. Well, we just parked around the corner. I'll go and grab it and pick you up.
And
Say over comms.
maybe let Billy Bob.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Billy Bob's probably in the van already because he would have gone back to it after he did his diversion.
Okay, so Bodhi will go back to the van, get in and like drive to down the street to meet up with
Studley.
Studley.
Yeah.
So it all depends on what this guy does. If he carries on by foot, then Studley is going to
yeah,
keep.
so you sort of
By
like
foot.
leave the building, and the old guy seems quite purposeful, as if he knows where he's going. He's not sort of like just sort of like wandering around. He obviously has a destination in mind, and he is going straight there. You know, he doesn't look like there's any diversions, different places he's going. And as you sort of like following him, you notice that the bulldog van sort of like pulls up alongside of you with Bodhi and Billy Bob in it.
So if I'm not going to trawl sort of like at the normal speed, so I'm gonna actually no. Yeah, so I'm not going to sort of like be trailing. I'm going to sort of like drive at the normal speed and then park up if there's a parking space at the end of the street, park up at the end of the street for the moment, because I don't want to be sort of like curb crawling.
Yeah. So these streets are quite long because it's almost like a grid system, isn't it, on South Side? So are you going to the end of the sort of like that block, or are you? Because the street will go on for a long period, you know, because it's just like a straight line.
Sort of like a reasonable distance down the street, so that it's not obvious that we're following him. And then sort of like look for a parking place to park up, and then once I've done that, I'm going to turn to Billy Bob and say, "Are you able to drive?" Because the van's got a manual, is modified, so it has got a manual steering wheel.
Billy Bob's going to turn around and say, "I have my license."
Do you want to drive, and then I can see if I can do some matrix wizardry on that chat.
Let's go.
Yeah, so you set off down the street, and we'll come back to you, Studley, because you're busily following this guy, and he goes down the street for a reasonable distance, and then he turns down another street, and you don't need a roll to follow him because he almost like stands out quite purposefully. You know, there's nobody like this, and he walks down the side street, and he comes to some kind of, it's almost like an apartment block. And you notice that he sort of like slips something into what appears to be like an outside door, and he sort of like slips it in, and it sort of like opens inwards, and he goes into it, and the doors close behind him. And as you get close to it, you can see it's like an apartment block.
Okay.
That's what it is. Yeah.
So, seeing that, Studley wants to go onto the opposite side of the street, and he's going to keep an eye on how many stories is it? 3, 4,
3. Yeah.
3. So he's going to keep an eye on the front of it, to see whether or not he can see a light in one of the apartments maybe coming on.
Yeah, and if you remember, glass in 2076 is all mirrored, so you just see the mirror, the mirrored outside of it. There's no sort of like light cascading out from it. They can see out, but people can't see. And if you remember when you went to Yang Industries,
Right.
it was like that. Yeah, so you sort of like stand, wait outside, and before long, Billy Bob, are you driving the van to Studley's position?
Yeah, just up the road a little bit.
Yeah.
So we have far to walk.
So you can drive the van round, and then you park up a little bit before. So you Studley, you can see the van there. And it's just parked up on the road side.
All right. I think
Okay.
Longshanks is going to do some Matrix wizardry.
Longshanks is going to do some Matrix wizardry.
Studley's going to go and go and get into the van anyway.
Yeah, cool.
Okay. So do you need me to? What was it? A lock on the door then that he in the house? I'm
Yeah,
assuming
all apartment blocks have a device on them. It seems to be like a key card reader.
Okay. So Bodhi will turn to Studley and say, "Wait, do you know what number house it was, so I can find the right lock?" And then I'll try and I'll see if we can open it and get in if that's what we want to do to follow him.
Yeah, so the first thing you'll need to do is how are you going in first?
Sorry, I was speaking to Studley first because I want to make sure that's what we're doing before I break.
Studley appointed us, yes, it was that apartment block that he went into.
That's right. So if
you want my opinion, I would probably. I mean, if you check the entrance and exit log on the actual the lock on the apartment door, that might give us both the information of the gentleman's name and also which apartment he was going up to. For example, it might come up John Smith, apartment 6.
Okay. That's fine. I was just going to check if we're wanting to, if whilst I'm there, you want me to open the lock so we can go up and visit him, or are we just going to get his information and then do something else later? I just wanted to make sure first, because if I can do everything whilst I'm in there in one go, it makes it easier for me.
I mean, he was a fairly elderly gentleman. It may well be that we can get in and get up to his apartment and maybe even get into his apartment when he's asleep. So it may be well worth our wait to wait out here for a few hours, and then get the information that we need. Alternatively, you could leave your mark on the lock and not reboot your machine, and then you would still have the mark, and you could let us in at a later date.
Okay, that's all right. I'll get the information, and then we can go in later if that's what you want to do. But if I can get it now, it makes sense. So Bodhi wants to find the lock on the matrix.
Yeah, the whole building seems to be some kind of grid wireframe for the building, and you can see that there's a whole load of locks of all the doors. There doesn't seem to be on a host or anything, and they seem to be isolated, and they don't seem to be running silent or anything like that.
How long has this guy been in since? Was it sort of like, has it been a couple of minutes? Could he still be going up, or no?
Well, no, you waited, and then there was a whole lot of chat. So I think what we'll do, this would be a good time to leave it for tonight, and then we can pick it up when Bodhi attacks the locks next week. So in order to finish off, does anybody have any announcements that they want to give?
Yeah, I just want to say good luck to Big Beastie on Saturday for his first professional wrestling appearance.
Yeah,
2 matches in one night now.
Go Big Beastie!
Oh yeah, we want pictures.
I'm trying to get it live streamed.
Oh,
I was thinking about that because you were trying to do a test stream.
Test stream works all right.
Did you also know that Streamlabs OBS actually has an app for the phone that allows you to actually do it?
Yeah, that's what I was using on my phone.
Yes,
it's brilliant. I use that.
Yeah.
So, excellent. So good luck, Billy Bob.
Break an arm.
Big Beastie.
Break a leg.
Break an arm.
I know Big Beastie has to dash off to pick up his wife, so just go. And we will see you all
I'll see you
later.
tomorrow, Big, for some gaming.
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
hope you've enjoyed tonight's stream, and we will catch you all later. See you later, guys. Bye.